So I'm in the middle of working on painting this, and I've been wanting to record it for my Instagram, but I thought I actually really like the sound that the painting makes, so I thought I would record it with some sound. I've never done this before, but I think it's a little funny. I also have my nails are growing out. They're blue right now from dyeing my hair, but that tapping on literally everything. So this is my biggest paintbrush. Makes a really nice sound. Sorry, I'll try not to giggle. So I'm just kind of blending this out with water. I've really been wanting to record myself painting actually for quite a while. But the thing is, I use my phone for the reference pictures, and so I can't really, it's really hard to do both, which is why I'm just using it kind of for blending right now, trying to see how this will work out. I do have the reference pictures right up there. But it is a little bit of a pain to have to look up and down at the painting. I don't have another camera, so can't really do anything else. So just kind of blending the bigger parts of it right now with the big brush. Then I'll be moving on to the smaller details. I really like the talking ASMR videos, like the rambling ones, which is why I'm just kind of saying what I think. So it might not be very interesting, but I really like the talking ones myself. Alright, so now we have well, do a little bit more right there. Now that we have the bigger parts kind of shaded, I'm going to move on to a smaller brush. Just kind of using water to blend it out, and it really makes such a difference. Oh my gosh, it makes such a difference. It's really fun that you can do that, even though it was totally dry. Well, I think it was. I didn't really touch it, but yeah, it's dry, and now you can fix it all up. But one thing I've had though is you gotta be careful if you use too much water, because I like to layer it, and I just keep like kind of adding layer after layer and then putting water over it. And so this is why I kind of am blending out at the end. I didn't like layer paint, then water, and then the paper. It's like, please, no more, stop. And I'm like, but I'm not done. So kind of just blending it all out at the end. Yeah, I might have to go back in here with the darker color again, because some of these are getting blended out just a little bit too much. That's okay. wasn't really sure what to go with here, what color. It's in the reference picture. Let's see. He just kind of looks really pale. So I'd go with this purple. Oh, that looks okay. That clicking noise you might keep hearing is my ring clicking against the paintbrush. I kind of like the sound. I have one on this finger too. It's I'm not engaged or anything. I just like wearing rings on those fingers. This one, it gets caught in everything. So I really like the way it looks, but I can't like wear it all the time. Oh, what's that? Got a little hair. So I'm doing the really dark area under the neck right here. I think in portraits, like the darkest parts are gonna be like the nose, like right underneath it, like right there. And then you've got under the neck, and then there also, you know, there's some really dark spots for the hair. That'll be like right there. I do, of course, a lot of pencil illustration as well. And so it's kind of interesting because I work in the opposite order with pencil versus watercolor. So you have well, sort of. Pencil, I start with like really, really, really dark. Especially if I'm doing hair, I'm gonna like try like a really dark shadow, like right there or something. And then I'm gonna go from there and kind of do the lighter parts and stuff. But when I do watercolor, I have to start with the really light and then darken it. I do that sometimes with pencil, but when I'm doing the hair, it can be a little bit overwhelming, honestly. When you're like kind of starting like, oh, there's so much hair to use. So I'm like, okay, let me just find the darkest parts. So I need to mix really dark color for under the nose. I already have this purple paint, but I want to take it up a notch, make it a lot darker. Let's test that out. That's really dark. So then I've got my really tiny brush. Where's the tapping? I'm gonna come in here and just go in just a little bit. Right in there. It's funny, I actually used to just have, I had a bunch of brushes, but I literally only used only this one. So there's, compared to my hand, one brush. And yeah, now I have kind of 5 that I have out, but I really only use 3 of them. I don't really like a lot of brushes. Like a lot of people, other artists like love like a ton of pencils. I used to have like a bunch. And then I bought like this one pencil where you're supposed to be able to like turn it, and it would, I guess it was supposed to change the thickness or something. I don't actually know if it worked, honestly, because it always felt the same. So it was like an architect pencil or something from Blueprints. So then I went and I just bought like a regular, like just a regular pencil. And that's what I use. Like I got it from Walmart. The thing is I would normally write with 0.7 lead. I gotta not smudge this. But it's 0.5. So that's the one difference, is it's just thinner. But other than that, like, it's nice. I put a grippy on it. My finger, like right here, gets really sore from mainly writing too much. So that's nice. But I have had somebody once asked me, like, what pencils do you use? And I'm like, I only use one. This ear right there ended up super dark. I'm kind of deciding whether to keep that or fix it. Change it, I mean, because in the reference picture, I think that was a really, like, a bright light. And so then you're gonna get those, like, really deep kind of striking shadows. So, but yeah, it just can look a little weird when I haven't really finished the rest of the painting. Oh, that's really dark. That's really dark. I'm not sure. Like his eyes are gonna be really dark too. So just have to see. I can always blend it out. Let's fix this up. It's one of those things I feel like I'm just making it worse. There we go. There is a lot of contrast in his ear. Let's add a little bit more in here. On that. Blend his nose out just a bit. And a little more down here too. My sister, she said she thought this was kind of a weird face. I thought it was cute. But I do, of course, illustrate a lot of like kind of straight on facial expressions. You know, I mean, they look really nice. But I feel like ones like this are harder. Like, I don't want to be drawing the same face like every single time. You know, because like, I'm not going to improve if I do that. So it's nice. Plus, I really want to hang this on my wall. So it's going to look really cute. Let me. There's this little stripe like right here that's bothering me. Pull that out too. I feel like that's just about done for the skin. I'm not sure. It's a little weird kind of making decisions on camera. That's really dark right there. Oh no, that's fine. I I thought I had gotten some of the paint right there, but that's just for the tube. I was debating using this. You can see this really dark color. There it is. I was debating using that for his eyes and eyebrows, but this one is kind of a purple base. That's where I started from, and I want to have a different base for those. Like the eyes. People don't have purple eyes. So maybe a brown base. Alright, so now that the skin is done, we can move on to painting this white shirt here. So I'm gonna have to mix the colors. I know that the paper is white, but I never use just totally white or totally black. I think that's something a lot of artists do. There's kind of that thing of like true, there's something in there, true black or something where you like mix it. I said blue. I don't know, things are always off white. So I'm probably gonna do it with a bit of blue. So first I have to start off with, I just use a lot of water. And then I'm gonna come over here and pick a color to go with it. How about this one? We don't want a lot. Oops. So now I'm gonna get like a ton of white on my brush. And go check our sample. There's a little bit of pigment in there, but we're gonna need some more. Normally I would do the white first and then add the blue. That's okay. Kind of think of how much blue do we want? I'm gonna use this on his shirt and then his eyes, the whites of his eyes, and then his teeth. I don't think things tend to be like really like white ever. So that's why we're gonna mix these off whites. Like your teeth. I guess you can Photoshop them if you want. But if you did actual white, it looks really odd, really unnatural. So we don't want that here. So here we go a little bit. How I can reach. So you have, it's kind of this blue you've got going on. It's hard to see, but it makes a difference. The last painting I did, I had some photos of before it was finished, and before I did the whites of her eyes, and so there's this huge difference going from no color at all to just the tiniest bit of color. This is starting gray from the shirt. It makes a lot of a difference. A lot of painting is a lot of art, really. Kind of that subtlety. Like, my mom's like, "Oh, you're a perfectionist," and I'm like, "But yeah, you have to. It was just like, oh, that little touch that doesn't add a lot, but it's going to. And of course, if you have like a bunch of those, then it comes together. Sometimes, you can have to be like a little bit crazy. Okay, so there's that white base. this can be more, oh, that's a lot. This can be more noticeably blue. Because it's just a shirt. But his eyes and his teeth, gotta be a little bit more careful with those. And I'm doing this all kind of as like one color. So I'm gonna wait to paint the base of those. Back to our white over here. Let's do the tiny brush. Tiny little brush. No, really. Pointy tiny brush. Yeah, so same color. Oh. Just the camera is set up right in front of me because where I'm at, that's the best lighting. So that camera has to be right here too. So it also gets the best lighting. But then it's kind of very, very much in my way. So here we go. It's subtle, but it's there. You make it a little bit darker. That did nothing. Adding some blue. Bit more water. It's a lot of like just kind of trial and error. Just adding colors over and over and testing out the colors. You can see it's right there. Shadow. Oh, that was not dry. That's okay. Oh, he absorbed it. It absorbed it all. That's okay. Here we go. My computer has the reference picture open. Keeps turning itself off. Like, just dimming the screen. I have to turn it back on. That's a lot darker. And then I'm going to add some shading to the shirt. Got this fold right here. I don't put not as much attention into the clothes, the face, which is ironic. I went to school and study fashion design, so I did have to do a lot of putting attention into the clothes. But often when I draw in pencil, I do the clothes last, and so it's kind of like by the time you get to that point, you're like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't feel like doing it anymore. So you're just like, shade, and you stop. So this, of course, we want, it still needs color. His clothes can't just be like, just white, just blank. So I need to put a bit more effort in. What I would like to do is paint some shadows here, but you saw before, it did not dry. It was not dried yet, so we don't want to do that and have it bleed everywhere. So I'm going to try blowing it till it's dry. I might just have to wait. So I'm hoping it's dry enough now. I'm not really sure. But let's get to mixing and even darker colors. There we go. This is, maybe I said this before, but it's kind of all about layering the colors. We're starting out with, something much lighter. And, we're adding, because you can always, of course, add more, but it's harder to take away. But we can take away, of course. There are ways to do that. It's not very dark. Black could be a little tricky because you add like a bit of black. It just kind of goes crazy. It's our sample page. Maybe a little bit more. Sometimes too, what happens here is the brush, when you put it in there, it starts absorbing all the water. You're like, oh, I'm running out. Which can be a bit annoying. Okay, I think that's okay. So let's be very, very careful right here. Oh, no. Very, very slow. Oh, that looks really good. Yeah. And then I'm gonna connect this going on with these teeth. He does, obviously, Jungkook has multiple teeth, but I don't really like. I don't like drawing teeth, so I'm kind of using the cartoon route. They're just like, oh, it's just one big tooth. He's fine. That's normal. Most people just, we all have one big tooth. That's actually, it's funny. That's and that's something that you can do to make something look a bit more scary or unsettling. Is you draw the teeth. If you've ever watched like Attack on Titan, all the Titans, they draw the full set of teeth. There, you can of course draw people's teeth without it being a problem, but it's like a lot of work to do. You have to do a ton of detailing if you want it to look okay. Which some of us are just lazy. Especially if you're doing cartoons. Now, of course, this is a realistic drawing, but I'm still lazy. I'm not sure if you can hear the sound the brush is making. It's very quiet. It's funny, I actually hadn't realized my brushes made noise because I always listen to music when I paint or something. I listen to ASMR a lot as well, actually. But yeah, I never heard the noise. I take my earbuds out and I was like, oh, the brush should make a sound. Didn't know that. So it's making me want to record that. This brush is so tiny. I don't know how well. I don't think you can hear it. That's okay. All right, so that's the whites. Painted the whites of the eyes, teeth, and the shirt. I think I'm gonna probably stop recording for now. There's a lot of footage I'll have to watch and edit, which is not really something I like to do. I know a lot of people don't like the sound of their voice. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna finish this up myself now, and then I'll put in the finished painting at the end. And here is the finished painting. Thank you so much for watching. You can see more of my work on my Instagram at missjenny.art. Goodbye.